Hey folks, this is Noble Rambler, and welcome to Let's Play RimWorld Alpha 13. We start a brand new series. We just finished a kind of a shortened version of an Alpha 12 series as a bit of a practice round, but this is going to be the real one. So, I've already created a world. I went and found something that I could actually pronounce. That was important. We're in Alpha 13, 13.1135. And if you were to buy RimWorld, in case some of you don't know this, Ludian, because right now RimWorld is not out in Steam. That's possibly going to happen this year, though. But Ludian will send you out an email with the ability to download it up to 7 times from 4 different operating systems. You know, PC, Linux, what have you, Windows. I think Mac's in there too. And so you get 7 tries to download it onto whatever computers you've got, so you can have multiple versions of it. And then each time a new alpha comes out, a new variant of it. I've got those emails for Alpha 12, A, B, C, and D, I'm pretty sure. So you'll always get 7 more tries at it. So there's very little chance that you're not going to be able to download your game onto your computer and do what you need. And it's good for life. Anyway, we've already have a world, so let's go to a new colony. And I'm going to go back to Cassandra Challenge. It seemed to work out real well last time, so we're just going to do what works. I'm going to use the planet called Saren, because I don't know how to pronounce that one. Alpha 12. Or this one. That was a toughie. Deneb Australis. Adfermencab. Yeah, Saren sounds really good. Select. Okay. Now, lots of different possibilities. We can be up in the frozen tundra. We could be down in the desert. In fact, this one is the arid shrubland. You've got regular desert over here. So I think arid shrubland was even more intense than desert. That's a new one. Basically no trees in either, almost no growable land. It's tough. I think for the purpose of what we're doing, we're going to stick to something that I can teach from, kind of like Ramlington was for Banished. Go through and teach the whole game. Then we'll go into some challenges and try to explore some different ways to play the game. So last time it seems like we did what would be like a single mountain, like that one. They're calling that mountainous, and it seemed like there was an awful lot of mountain and not very much plains, where you can really spread out and do things, grow. So this time, we're not going to be able to start with the crash landings mod. So, in fact, let me check that out. Back up, back, and how far back do I got to go? Can I go to mods? Yes, just core. That's all that's there. So crash landing and EDB are not available. I don't know if they've been updated yet for Alpha 13 or not. I'm not going to... what am I reloading? There we go. Hopefully I didn't mess up my recording. Okay. We'll go back to new colony, back to challenge, back to Saren, and back to what I think is going to be, this sort of a thing. Let's see if we can find one that's got 3 different types of stone. There's slate, marble, and sandstone. Marble, sandstone, and granite. I think we'll go with that one. Growing period is from the 1st of spring to the 11th of fall. So Alpha 13 has changed from months to seasons. So a little different way of doing it. Also, they've doubled the length of the day. So longer days, I assume that means shorter nights. Same amount of time for an entire year, though. So it's just divided up differently. It gives you more time with daylight to go out and do the things you need to do. They're saying that, how many times did you send someone out to go mine something on the other side of the map, and he gives 1 tap and then he comes back to go to sleep. So longer days so they can go do what they need to do. Advanced. We're not going to use permadeath because I have to record this series and, life happens. Kind of like this episode right here. This is my 4th time doing this. Last time I had it just right and I went to edit it and found out that the desktop kept flashing in and out of the video, just vibrating. So I had to throw it away. So permadeath sounds great. except when you get a technical problem. Then you can't go back to redo the episode. So I cannot do permadeath, but you guys have a ball with it. Medium, this size right here, I think is going to work fine for what we need to do. So we're going to go with that and select. So, who did they give us? I'm not saying we're going to necessarily keep. In fact, artery blockage, minor, and heart. I think we're going to not keep this one. So, right off the bat, that's a no. But with the characters now comes relationships in Alpha 13. So, who have I got here? Mori is the brother of Kazuki. So these two are brothers. And Lolita, the geologist, has no relation with either. Has a scratch scar and an old gunshot wound to the left shoulder. So, otherwise healthy. Let's start with the first one. What have we got? We've got someone who's able to shoot, incapable of nothing, good health, 58 years old, good with animals, good with medicine, good with cooking. Oh man, that's a great character. I'm assuming that the older characters will have better skills. I would hope the game is smart enough to think of, with age comes wisdom. But there's a problem with having a character that can do everything. They can't do everything. They can only do one job at a time. And so you end up with all your skills packed into one person who's stuck chopping a tree and can't do all the rest. But this is a good person to draw from, so I think this one's a keeper. So we definitely need a new name. Kazuki Stone just doesn't fit. Let's go with Kazoo until we actually change the name to match one of our subscribers. I don't want to do that yet. Let's get everybody landed and kind of get the first episode or two in. Then we'll figure that out. I hate to have someone die in the first episode and that subscriber is out for the series. So we're going to let the dust settle for a little bit first. Anyways, this is a good one here. Cold tolerant, and jealous. What do we have here? Okay, this is the trait I was trying to come up with, I think, in the last episode of the last series. What was the one that someone had to have everything impressive? Yeah, that was the trait I was trying to think of, and jealous was it. So this person has to have the best bedroom, or we'll get a serious mood problem. That's going to be interesting. Mori, male, 64, so Mori is Kazu's older brother. And they both like each other. That's good. Mori can't do much. Incapable of dumb labor and skilled labor. So is an artiste. Can work with animals, can social, and can melee. Is this person going to be able to help us much? I'm a little concerned here. I think I'm going to toss this one. I'm going to redo that one. We do want 3 decent characters to start with, and for the series I'm trying to create, I don't see the point in just making it as difficult as possible by putting in whatever 3 I get and no changing. That's not the point here. The point here is to teach the game. So we've got a decent character here that is good health, female, NG. I think I'm going to go with Angie. I like that better. It's a name that's more familiar to me. And capable of everything. Can shoot. Can construct. Can craft. I think this is a good character here. Okay. I don't see anything to be concerned about. Now, if I hit the I now, that's right, we have a new tab called Records. So all the characters, you'll be able to go later and see how many times they did everything. Captured people and cooked meals and killed animals and what have you. But health, there's nothing significant listed here that isn't already here. So that's good. This is a keeper. So Lolita. And female, 60, decent health. Childhood mute. Greatly affected by a traumatic event earlier in life. For many years, she refused to speak to people, preferring instead to play with her household's numerous pets, which made her very good. No, it didn't. I think it'd be good with animals. Try that again. Animals +5, so something else is taking away animals, because we're at 1. Is this one a negative? No. That's interesting. Like the math didn't work. Must be another reason here why the animals is down to 1 instead of +5. Huh. Anyway, can shoot. Can eventually do medicine. Can mine really well. Can craft. Hopefully that converts into clothing making. I think this is a go. Let me look this over again. So basically we need a doctor, we need a cook, and the same person can do both. Except we're not going to get animals out of that person, because they're going to be busy basically busy cooking all the time. Can grow, that's important. So the second person can grow as well, can construct, crafting. I'm going to re-roll this one a couple times, maybe, see what we get. This one is, by random chance, Amelia's sister. Or Angie's sister. I see. So I rolled these two as being related to each other now. Okay. And capable of all the things that are important, though. Of caring, social, scary, and firefighting. One more. We got to be able to shoot, though. What do we got there? A night owl. 16. Can't do much yet. Can mine. Can art. Okay. He's able to shoot a little bit. So, and the night owl is interesting. But, so we've got someone that's able to do medicine, animals, cooking. Someone that's able to do construction and crafting, is able to do mining and art. Do we have a research in here at all? 4, 0, and 2. So we'll make the 4 work. I think we're going to go with this group here. So Dag, male, no relationship. Angie, no relationship. Kazoo, no relationship. I think I like that. And even slate all the way across. They may eventually start to get interested in each other, but I think we're going to go with this. All right. Now, remember how I mentioned I don't want to do permadeath, because I may need to redo things. RimWorld does not talk very well with fraps when it comes to hitting the start button. So I'm going to catch you on the other side of a transition. Hold on. All right. So we are on our new world of, what did I say, Saren? And the 3 of you awoke in your cryptosleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown RimWorld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you make plans to survive. All right, send them in here. And what have we got? We got a warg. That's not as good now. Now the warg is going to form a relationship with his master, and if the master dies, the warg isn't happy. You get a berserking warg inside your camp having a tantrum. That's never a good thing. Let's take a look at our world. What have we got? One with the smaller of the mediums. That's a good size for, I think, for what we're going to do. Yeah. And we didn't do the heavy mountainous one. So we're not going to tunnel in completely, but we can incorporate the mountains with something. I'm kind of playing with this one right here. It looks pretty good. So Got a good defensible area over here too, except that they can enter the map from right here and they enter right into your base. So I'm kind of thinking this looks good here. We can connect the dots here, there, and there eventually. So that's an awful lot of construction to get to that point. But we've got a place to spend the night right here. I like that. We can wall this off. We can put a door right there. We can door right there. And defend up in this area and just kind of make the enemies walk up and around. We get a door right through there. Yep, this is doable. How far away from there? Not too far. Good. Okay, now we had a couple of good, let's see here, shooters. There's a 7, and I guess I need to start memorizing. Well, I don't really want to memorize the names yet because we're going to be changing them. Now, we don't have the EDB interface, so we don't have the pictures up here this series. So hopefully by the time we start our next RimWorld series, we'll be able to put all that back in again. So, or maybe I could experiment with putting it in mid-series. We'll see if that doesn't crash everything. So Angie, I believe, is going to be the pistol because Kazoo is the best one. Yeah, Kazoo, you've got the rifle. Angie, you've got the pistol. And our third choice is Dag. Dag, you aren't good at either. Let's think about this. Only 5 in melee, 4 in melee. Yeah, so Dag, you're going to just grab what's left, and you're probably not going to be in the shooting as much. We'll see. Future. But let's unforbid things. And let's pull out. Now, with crash landings last episode, everything landed around us and we had to deal with fires and collect what we could, and eventually we brought everything into our base. This one, the game just gives us some random things that we assume crash down around us. So let's unforbid all of those random things that are in this area at least. You could go around the entire map and unforbid things, but then you've randomly got people wandering the entire map looking for those things and picking them up. And this map now has cougars and bears and who knows what else that we don't want them. Come on, there we go. We don't want them wandering around on their own without at least thinking about it. Something new. Components. Miscellaneous gears, capacitors, circuit boards, tubes, wheels, sensors, wires, chips, processors, and other electronic and industrial parts necessary for assembling complex machinery or electronics. So we can't just, bang a rock and chop down a tree and build I'm guessing the, what'd you call that thing? The console isn't here anymore. Oh, okay. So we can't just build the console to communicate with the spaceships, the merchants out there. We're going to have to research how to do it and then use our components to build it. A little more complex than it used to be. A little more realistic. Maybe think of it that way than it used to be. All right, so we are unforbidden. Do we have any predators? We got Muffalo. Don't think we ever saw Muffalo last series. Muffalo. Large, herding herbivore, descended from buffalo and adapted for some exotic environment, peaceful unless disturbed. You don't want a muffalo stampede coming after you, trust me. We've got more iron hiding out over here. They've changed the boom rats. These used to be the little red squirrel-like things. Now they have got the humps on them like the boomaloops did. So a little rat with the little chemical bags on the back. So, powerful fire-starting explosion when killed. So, every once in a while, something will happen so that all of a certain kind of animal will attack. They all go berserk. Pray they are never boom rats. I had that once. I had one town, and thankfully it was later on in the game, and it was all set up, and I had my defenses going, and I had a real kill zone, because suddenly almost 40 boom rats ran into my base. I was able to shoot almost all of them in the kill zone, which blew everything up. And 2 or 3 did make it inside and blew up inside there, and it was bad. Oh, it was bad. I cannot imagine what would have happened if that, if I didn't have the ability to defend myself. But what else is around this map here? Another boom rat over there, more iron. These are ship chunks. So this is something new for Alpha 13. A chunk of a spacecraft can be deconstructed to yield some useful steel and components. So that's a good thing. Need to get some of those when we get a chance. Components are something we're going to have to... I'm not sure if we can make them. I think we can, but I know you can buy them. But I would imagine they're going to be quite expensive. I'm looking for any kind of predators, and I'm not really seeing any. I've done a couple of test runs on Alpha 13, so I have a clue what I'm doing, and each time I had cougars, and I never got a chance to really play with the kitties. I was watching Vortak play, and he had bears on his map, and he was kind of scrolling around and looked over and saw a whole bunch of blood all over the wilderness out there, and didn't realize what it was at first. I think the bear had gotten hungry, and he went after a herd of deer, and had a little bit of a personal battle there. All right, so we're not going to have to worry about spaceships crashing down on us. So everybody has been released. Everything has been what's the word I want? Forbidden. And I think we're going to go for this area right here. So now one thing I did notice, this right here is fertile, rich soil. This would be a great place to grow compared to just soil. So if you can grow over these areas, it's better. These areas are mud. You can't build anything on it, so it's not buildable. So you want to avoid those in the middle of your base if you can. So we have got rough sandstone and grass over soil in this area, and that's it. Good chunk of iron, though. That's good to see. And so all these areas are not growable right through here. We do have good growing up there. No, I have to get back. That's mud. This is the good growing right here. There's a lot of it, too. More iron. No, I like this area, but I think we're going to try and stay low so we can go through a door and do some growing over here. And maybe we'll have some other more long-term growing out over here. I'm not sure. We'll think about that. But not at first. We're going to have to stay compact into here. So since we have walls, let's go directly to beds this time. I didn't go directly to beds in the last series because we had so many people. We ended up with 10 people. And I've never had a game start with 10 people. So, there isn't enough building materials at the beginning to do that and everything else you need to do. But with just 3 people, in fact, let's throw in 4 beds. Furniture, beds, wood. So wrong one again, right there. Because inevitably someone's going to get hurt here real quick and we're going to need a medical bed. Or it's quite possible we'll have a wanderer join us early on, or we will have someone fleeing from somebody else and running onto the map asking us for refuge, which we can accept, and that person becomes part of our colony, but then we inherit the problem of the people chasing that person. So that brings some early excitement into the game. Structure, wooden door, I guess there. And we will wooden wall right there. And there's our first quick bedroom. And let's do a little bit of planning before we release the game. I'm thinking we're going to let's see, that and that. We're going to wall this area off, and we'll put a door right there. We're going to mine over here. Orders. Let's see. Let's mine like that. Take these out. No, we'll leave that one. There we go. We'll put a door right there, and that will regulate who can walk through this area. Our enemies will have to walk all the way around. So we'll set up defenses up in here to get started. So exiting out this way and exiting out that way should be adequate for what we need to do. We do, though, want to take this out. And we'll pop it. No, we won't put a door in there. We'll just make it a little bit easier to walk through there. Wouldn't hurt to do something over here, too, eventually. Oh, we have a room over here. Who knows what's hiding in that one. Alright, thermal geysers. That's right. I just noticed that. Do we have one anywhere near us? We do not. So, every town site will have its positives and negatives. Well, we're not too far from this one. So we could eventually geyser geothermal power out of this one if we want to. Okay then. So, we're going to do this, and we're going to get some crops in over here. So, zones, growing. Let's do, something like that. And I'll show you a little trick. If I were to build another one right here, and if I click, it's going to become part of that. Now, if I were to, let's go over to here. Put one in there. And if I were to put one right here, see, each time I click this, that one isn't highlighted anymore. Now I can go back between the two. It's not highlighted, so it's not going to become part of that. And we'll do that. And now it's a separate growing area. So we'll do another one over here. Okay. I'm not going to put the pathways between because I want to take advantage of every square of that fertile ground. So we're just going to have to walk slowly through here if we need to. Hopefully the path down below or up above. In fact, it wouldn't hurt to put a door like right there. Maybe I'll do that. Kind of coax them to take that route if they need to. Alright, so we've got foods. Let's name this one, since it's strawberry colored, we'll name that strawberries. That one we'll call potatoes. I like to make the blue one the cotton, though purple works too. That's a food-like color. Let's go for rice on that one. This one, we don't have Zerigium anymore for your herbal medicines. Now they have something called heal root. So we'll go with the heal root. Slow-growing plant which yields herbal medicine when harvested. Was selectively breeded for centuries by settlers. It is sometimes also called healer's hand by tribespeople, a nickname it owes to 5 major medical virtues. I think that's the description for the Zerigium right there. But they gave it a name that made a little more sense. So we've got our growing area. We've got our living area. We're going to want to butcher quite early, so let's just throw that in right now. Production, I assume I can. Yeah, butcher's table. Wood. A lot of things you're not going to have access to as early on as we used to. So there are some changes there. So we're going to be able to butcher. We're going to need to store supplies or stockpile. And where to? Let's store here for now. Like that. And let's dump over here for now. So dumping pile like this. Let's go up one right there. So dumping. Dumping, let's set some rules. Rotten is allowed. And no weapons allowed there. And corpses will not... Yeah, there can be corpses there. We're going to set corpses to go somewhere else too, at least animal corpses, but we'll set that priority higher. That's what I messed up last time. I was trying to figure out why or how to get the rotten to go over here. You say all rotten corpses can go here, fine, but if they're not rotten, then we'll set a priority higher than just normal for the non-rotten over here, and eventually in the fridge, wherever that's going to end up. So this one is going to get everything but corpses, except for animal. We do want animal. So let's turn off. Let's see, no corpses except animal. There you are. Turn the animal on, but no rotten is allowed. And we'll take you to preferred. And everything else can go in here. Okay. So chunks and garbage and everything else, basically. So are we pretty much ready to let go here? got these stockpiles going. Our home zone is going to grow naturally on its own. We'll queue up some mining over here. Let's do that real quick. Orders, mining. Let's grab this entire end right here. And let's zone no roof area. Okay. No collapsing mountaintops onto our people right there. First time that happened to me, boy, a couple of years ago when I first got RimWorld, boy, that was a surprise. I'd never heard of that. And I finally understood how they, what they did, how they created that, or what the design was about. And then it made sense after that. It's a two-dimensional slice out of a three-dimensional world. There's still a mountain on top of this thing. And if you take everything out from underneath, it has to fall on you. So I think what I read is you get about 10 squares as your greatest span before it becomes top heavy, or collapses on you. So everybody's here. Work. That's what we need to do. Need to set up our priorities. So I always take it to the manual priority so I can be a little more specific. So Angie, well, tell you what, everybody is a patient except for Angie. Angie's the doctor, and I need her as our last hope to at least get somebody capable of breathing again so that they can then heal Angie. So Angie is not going to default to patient. She's going to default to doctor. No, I'm sorry. Kazoo. Kazoo's a he. Okay. Angie's a she. Kazoo's a he. And Dag is a he. Okay. I'm getting this straight now. Got to learn brand new characters again. Everybody's on Firefight. Firefight is always a 2 if you can, so they don't get out of their deathbed to go and fight a fire on the other side of the map. So if you have a fire that's that bad, you can manually designate for them to do it. Everybody flicks though, no matter what. I need that turret turned on when the enemy's attacking. So 4 out of 20. Wow, we need better social skills. Okay, we have our warden. This is what hurts. We're definitely going to need someone else to come soon. Kazoo is our warden, our handler, our cook, and our hunter. Hunting a 5.5 for Angie, 8 for Kazoo. So Angie is... My screen just went blank. There's back. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. Might be my graphics card or something. Let's see. Cook. Hunt. That's where I was. So hunt... Well, tell you what, we'll figure that out later. Construct is important, though. And repair. Mining is important. So at least these skills are divided up. Growing is important. Probably the most important right now. So, well, I'll tell you what, we can do that. Because there won't be any cooking to do and there won't be any wardening to do. Okay. So we'll go there. Mining. Plant cut. Everybody can plant cut. And everybody can haul. And for right now... Now we'll see. Everybody can clean. Not going to deal with research for a while. Not going to deal with tailoring for a while. Not going to deal with art for a while. So I think we are set. That looks good. We might be hunting sooner than I think. We'll see. We'll see what's out here. So with that, I think we can finally turn this on, right? Let's see here. I can't think of anything else that is a high priority. Let's let these guys go and see what they do. Picking up our weapons, and Kazoo is already going to go cut a poplar tree. After you bring in the food. Dag, you too. Bring in the food. I think they can only bring in 10 at a time. Angie is going to go build. Let's bring in all of the wood. Nope, wrong one. Angie, bring in all the wood. Right there. And then you can build with that. Dag, you are bringing in the food. Okay. Alright, so they're bringing things in, heading for the stockpile. I'm going to have to manually tell them to bring things in at first, and then set them loose on their pre-programmed way. Let's go to 2 for a while. Speed 2. And let me pause for a second. Angie, one more time. Let's haul. So bring in medicine. And that's close enough right there. Bring in the rest of the meals. And who was the other? Angie, Dag, Kazoo. I need you to bring in the components. Where did they go? Right there. So bring all these in. Okay. So if that gets accomplished, I think we can just let the rest run. Yeah, got all that. Got all that. No, we missed one. You're carrying 20. That must be your max. Okay. There's still 10 down here. So first one in. Kazoo, come on down and get these last components. And tell you what, let's bring the wood in. Angie, you are already building. Yeah, come on down, grab some more wood. I'll go back to speed 1 so I can do this without having to pause. And our third is Dag, and you are hauling your mining. Now come on down over here and grab, where's the steel? Grab the steel. What they tend to do is if they need 3 wood, they'll go down and pick up 3 wood and go back and do their thing. If they just pick up all 75 and drop it off, then we don't have to do the hauling trip again. So I'd like to manually get them at the beginning to bring as much stuff in as possible. More meals. Those are important because the local wildlife will come and eat them. So even though it's important that we plant, it's even more important that we rescue the meals that are for free sitting right next to us. Alright, so our foods are over here, so may as well go ahead and queue up cutting. Chop. Let's chop this area right here. And let's chop what's inside the base too. So if someone isn't set for crops or planting, but they are capable of cutting or chopping, then they can do a few steps ahead of the planter and make, clear some land for them. Let's see. Let's harvest. Let's see what foods are sitting down in this area. And up in here, nothing over here. Wow. All right, further down into here. Almost no berries around. There's some berries. Grab that. The wildlife will eat the berries too. So we're in competition with these guys. Rabbits love berries. All right, while they're doing their thing, who's moved into our map? We're going to have to do this quite often. I'm going to have to wander around to see if a bear has wandered in or a, what have you, a cougar. I am really surprised. This is the first time I've played. Hey, we have an alpaca. The beginnings of a new goon squad. Yeah, we'll set that one to tame, even though we're not really set to do taming right now. But you do want to notice when a predator has moved in. And then be aware of that. Oh, speaking of predators, although before I do that, I want to queue these up. So double click on those. We've got 6 of them available. Let's send someone out there to get those. Angie, you're in the... Now, you've got a higher priority there. We'll let you make our beds. But, Dag, you can come get these. And haul. What I was going to say was that now our characters... Let's see, can I see that here? Oh. Angie was wooed by Kazoo. Angie rejected the advance. It's starting already. Dag had a nice chat with Angie. And Kazoo attempted to woo Angie into a romance. Angie rejected the advance. So we're going to have a whole new aspect of our game here. But what I was wanting to see, I know where I can find it otherwise, but is it listed somewhere else? It is not. Okay. From restrict, we can determine if, no, from assign. In fact, this time let's take advantage of this. Angie was the one with the rifle. No, Kazoo is the one with the rifle. Kazoo is going to be more of a soldier type. So let's assign Kazoo to soldier type clothing when they become available. But this symbol right here, how to change or react to nearby enemies when the colonist is not drafted. You can set them to flee, or to ignore it, or to attack it. So they accidentally walk up next to a cougar. They can either run for their lives, or they can attack it, or they can just walk dumbly through and roll the dice and see what happens, like they used to do. A marble chunk, a sandstone chunk, and a granite chunk. The 3 different colors here. So this episode's already approaching the 40-minute mark. We're not going to take it much longer, but I do want to kind of take a quick look around, see if anything has wandered into our map. Not seeing anything. I do see some more meals, though. Let's grab these guys. There's 3 meals, but when we don't have cooking going yet, 3 meals can mean a lot. Dag, why don't you head down here and grab these? We'll go from here. And how are we doing on speed? 3.55. And if you hit the period and comma, you can cycle through your characters. Oh, there's the symbol right there. That tells you if that they're going to flee. 4.61, so Angie is faster. And close, and... so Angie and Kazoo are faster, and Dag is Y. Health, left leg has a stab scar. Okay, so Dag is the slower of the 3. Okay, let's keep that in mind. So, I don't think, unless there are components sitting around somewhere, I'm not practiced yet into spotting those. That's a new thing for me. But otherwise, I think our map is pretty well clear of the most important things. The meals are, well, the second most important. Medicine is the most important. So, apparently that's all that dropped off of our ship as it broke up and landed near our landing site. And I don't see any predators. So, oh, I'm paused. Am I paused? Oh, nope, I'm not. They're just chopping away in slow-mo. Okay. So with that, I think we're going to call this one done. We've got beds. We've got 70 degrees indoors. So I'm hoping that temperature-wise we're going to be fine. Don't need to build a campfire. If it's too warm and we build a campfire, I don't think you can turn it off. I don't remember well, there may be some kind of a destroy, I'm not sure. But we can get too hot and then they'll complain that it's too hot to sleep. So I don't want to build it until I know that we need it. We do need to get a roof over our storage though soon. And somebody got sick. So someone had, I don't know if it still lists it. Here's something new too. It gives you a bar on how soon before the activity that they're doing is finished. So that's really nice to see. I don't remember ever seeing that before. But who has had crypto sleep sickness? So if I hit the period, nobody. Okay, so that's an old vomit pile, which will be cleaned up soon. So with that, I think we're going to call this one done. We're nearing the end of our first very long day. We do need to come up with a name for this town. I could go back to Survivor's Remorse like last time, or we could come up with something new. If you have any creative ideas to kind of designate a town that is temporary. Like my very first series I did for my channel is kind of a test series. I called it Temporary Digs. But a temporary settlement, it's not like banished. You're actually planning on leaving this settlement. That's the hope. But in fact, maybe the word hope should be in the title, in the name of the town. But we need to come up with some kind of a name for this town that's going to be connected to the series. And I believe that's going to hit next episode. So I'm going to be probably a couple of days before I can create the next episode. So give you time to leave some thoughts in the comments. And as we do get more settlers available, we'll start naming folks and hopefully grow this into a series that's got as many as 20 characters. I've had towns with between 30 and 40 colonists before. Though I don't know if this town's ever going to get that big, but the potential is there for a lot of named characters. Anyway, I'm going to call this one done. This has been Noble Rambler. I thank you guys for watching. Hit the like and subscribe if you would, and I'll catch you next time, folks. Bye-bye.